Good morning, everybody. My tea is too hot to drink. I just poured it and it's super hot. So I drink it anyway. Okay, I feel like this is probably going to be a long video, so I apologize in advance. I'll try to squish it down some. First things first, we talked in chat and stuff yesterday about all the fire stuff, fire updates, and I mentioned that my whole county was under a level 1 evacuation order, so that has been lifted this morning. Woo. There's still, why do you do this? Why are you like this? Cats are so bad. Just hold on a second. I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna send you to Noah. I am. You're no one in the box. It's Eric, by the way. So the level 1 evacuation order for the whole county has been lifted. So there are still some other evacuation orders in specific places that are near the fires, but the whole county isn't under evacuation anymore. So that's good. Yay. But it's an improvement anyway. So let me think. Phoebe, I wanted to comment on some of your stuff. Your apartment looks really cute, by the way. I like it a lot. Your refrigerator is adorable, and I like your little patio thing, and everything about your apartment is really cute. I really like it. And I'm glad that you mentioned your address, because I had just thought about that. I just thought about it yesterday. I was like, hey, I'm gonna have to remind Phoebe to update her address in the Google Doc. Your watch, your goofy watch. That's what I was going to comment on. That's funny because when I was in high school, a friend of mine had a watch that ran backwards. Only hers was a Mickey Mouse watch. I wonder what the thing is with Disney characters and backwards watches. She said that she thought, as far as I know, she was never tested, but she said she thought that she had some kind of mild dyslexia. And she said for whatever reason, she found the backwards clock a lot easier to read. And she let me try it once because I am pretty sure, I never thought about this when I was younger, but fairly recently I have done some research and stuff. I've done some reading online and stuff about it. And I am pretty sure that I have dyscalculia, which is what people call math dyslexia. Not a really severe case, obviously, or I would have noticed at some point. I would have put the pieces together sooner. But one of the most common symptoms, apparently, is the inability to read an analog clock. And I cannot for the life of me read an analog clock. I know how to. I know how analog clocks work. I know how to read them. In fact, as a little kid, we were given worksheets in class. I remember learning how to read the clock and doing all these worksheets and stuff. And I know how to do it, but it's when I look at the clock, it's I don't know how to describe it. It's such a cliche to say numbers move around. That's how people always describe dyslexia. Letters move around. But I don't know how else to describe it. It's it won't hold still. It's the clock is in an alternate dimension from me and things aren't the same there. So she let me try her watch out to see if I could read it, but I couldn't. It was just as difficult as trying to read a regular forward facing clock. So that's what your watch made me think of, this whole my friend from high school. So it's a cool watch, and I think that it's neat that you have it. And let me think, what else? Mostly I just want to talk about journals, because journals are so good. I have not as many journals as I used to have, because I lost a bunch of mine in a flooding incident, actually 2 flooding incidents, when I was living in the other place. And I had a lot of my old journals in a box on the floor underneath a thing, and there were some flooding problems. Once there was some, I can't remember exactly what happened. There was some kind of a plumbing issue and the floor like was just, there was standing water. It was very bad. And then the other time the water heater leaked and it just, I mean, that one was bad. That was the one that really caused the problem. So, so I lost a lot of my old journals then, but I still have a bunch. I don't know. I've been writing on and off for basically my whole life. I mean, I think I started my very first like little like child's diary thing when I was like 5, maybe. I don't even know how I knew what a diary was at the age of 5, but I read about it somewhere, I suppose. I started like learning to read and write very, very young. So by the time I was 5, like I was, you know, an old hand. But I didn't really like write in it very much. I was really into the concept of diaries, but like I didn't really know what to write, and like you know, and plus I think I had a lot of like preconceptions about what you were supposed to write in diaries and like how you were supposed to write in diaries, and I didn't like. It felt very awkward. I didn't really know what to do. I felt like I didn't know how to do it, so I just didn't write in diaries very much. And like I have sort of gradually, as I got older, like I started writing sort of more, but like I didn't really start writing a lot until I was in my 20s. And then here, like I wrote every day for probably close to 15 years. And then like the last probably 2 years, I just have written very little. I don't really even know why. I think a lot of it has to do with like, I have so much brain fog. It's really hard for me to like focus, and it's really hard for me, like the mental effort of putting together sentences is just exhausting. So I think that probably has a lot to do with it. Like you were talking about going back and like rereading diaries and stuff, and like when I kept mine, I used to handwrite everything, and so when I would get to the end of a notebook, I would go back and I would, the last like couple of pages of the notebook, I would just go back and I would like skim through and reread the whole volume, and then like I would make an entry that was basically just like a summary of everything that had happened during that period of time that I was writing in that particular volume of the diary, which I really liked. I've been doing that since like I think like since 2006 ish, and that was really cool. It was really fun, and I really liked doing that. But now I have moved to typing because I have trouble. Like I started having trouble with my joints and stuff, so it's harder to write for a long period of time. Typing is easier on my joints and it's faster. So I do that now, but that means that like there's not like an obvious end point to a volume, so I can't really like go back and do that in the same way. I have to like figure out, you know, maybe at the end of the year or something, or every 6 months or whatever, like go back and read and do like a summary thing, because I really enjoyed doing that. And you talked about like the unfamiliar thoughts thing, where you read something and just go, wow, I wrote that. Wow, that's really interesting. Yeah, and I mean, I do that a lot too. Like there's a lot of, especially if it's been a while, because I don't go back and read my journals very often. Especially, you know, nowadays. I used to go back and do it more often, but I don't do it hardly at all anymore. And I should, because you always find really interesting stuff when you go back, stuff that you had like completely forgotten about. Sometimes stuff that's really like, wow, that's really like, that's smart. I didn't know I was that smart. Wow. You know, I didn't know I had that really interesting, like wise thought. So yeah, so like I probably should go back and look through some of my old journals. I've been thinking about it a lot, so I should probably go and like try doing that, and see what I can find in there. I have actually, like, I don't know, I mean, you can kind of see them right there, those two books right there are both books about diary keeping, like about journal writing. The one on the bottom is called The New Diary, and it's by Tristine Rayner. And the one on top is Journal to the Self by Kathleen Adams. And Journal to the Self I got later, but The New Diary I found by accident in the college library when I was going to UCC. And it was just like I stumbled across it when I was looking for something else. And it actually was like a huge help to me because, like I said, I think I had like a lot of preconceptions about what diaries were supposed to be and how you were supposed to write in them, only that I didn't realize that I had all of these like thoughts about like shoulds and hows and whatever. Like I didn't realize I was carrying all that around. And I read this book and was just like, oh, wow. Like, oh, I had all this stuff in my head I didn't even know was there. And like, this really like helped me open up the way that I was thinking about diaries, which then meant that I wrote a ton more. And she calls them the 79-cent therapist, which frankly, I think is pretty true. So that was a really helpful book for me. And then Journal to the Self is a kind of a similar book written by a different person. They both have a lot of like different like exercises you can try if you need like a kind of like if you want to like try something different or a different approach in your diary or whatever. I haven't really done most of them. It was just like reading about them just like helped me like think about diaries in a different way. So that was very helpful for me. Yeah, I don't know. I have a whole, like, I have so much stuff I could talk about journals because I love journals so much, but this is like a 12-minute video already. I am talking a lot and I should probably stop. So that's it, I guess. I hope that I have talked about all the things that I had planned to talk about. And I hope everybody's doing really well, especially, with everything. And so I hope you're all doing well. I love you a ton. And I hope you all have a really good week. And don't forget to be awesome. Also, it was really fun to talk to you guys in the chat yesterday.